The VASKing KingPad M10. This is what we are reviewing today. Hey guys, welcome back to Hardware Sense channel. My name is Ivan and today we are looking at this VASKing KingPad M10 Android tablet with its accessory, the docking keyboard. So VASKing reached out to me a couple weeks ago and asked me if I wanted to check out some of their products. Naturally, I took a look at their website and have a big variety of Android tablets, smartwatches, stuff like that. But I was mostly intrigued by this specific tablet because of its specs: 4 gigabytes of RAM, 120 gigabytes of internal storage, expandable SD card slot up to 2 terabytes, dual SIM support, 2K screen, what they call, or it's 2000 by 1200 resolution. There are a lot of things that are more towards the higher end of the tablet market. At the same time, the processor inside is not that powerful. We have the UniSoc Tiger T16, which is on par about with MediaTek Helio P23, so not that powerful. The storage is eMMC, it's not UFS, and some of the LTE bands are not supported here in the States. So with T-Mobile, you have 3 bands that are supported, and with AT&T, you have 4 bands that are supported. So you're definitely going to get some coverage, but it's not going to be ideal. As always, we're going to go ahead and unbox it. Check out some details, look over the software. We're going to talk about the different pluses and minuses of this tablet. We're going to do an overview of the hardware as well. And at the end, we're going to have a conclusion. But before that, a quick word from our sponsor. And today's video sponsor is Hookeys. I love this name, Hookeys. It sounds great, right? Hookeys is one of my top choices when I want to go ahead and buy one of the latest titles of any games, PC games, Origin, Steam. They even have PlayStation games. Or if I want to go ahead and buy some of the software, they have genuine Windows Professional and Home keys. Also some software packages, of course, Microsoft Office 2019 and other versions. So excellent choice to go ahead and get yourself a key on a great deal. Use my promo code HWS for 20% off any game or any other software you see on their website and you want to buy. Again, this is HWS for 20% off. That is it. On to the unboxing of the VASKing KingPad M10 tablet and its accessory, the docking and keyboard. So let's quickly look at the back of the box. We have some of the specs outlined here. Android 11 on board. We have octa-core CPU, 2K display, 10.36-inch IPS screen, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Internal storage is 128 gigabytes. It supports 4G LTE, 13 megapixel back camera and front 8 megapixel camera. The Wi-Fi supports 2.4 and 5 gigahertz network, so that's great. And what's inside? Tablet, cable, adapter, user manual, and quick start guide. So without further ado, let me cut through the seals and see what's inside. Very nice packaging, nice and sturdy. Kind of reminds me of more expensive and like top level brands. You'll see how thick the actual packaging is, and we have padding on top, foam, so the tablet won't be affected. Some information here to how to start it, interesting. And the tablet is on top, but before we look at the tablet, let's see what else is inside. As mentioned, we have the quick start guide and user manual right here. We have the USB to USB-C cable, and then we have the charger. And the charger is very simple, 5 volts, 2 amps charger, so no fast charging here. You just keep that in mind in case you want to get that tablet. And that's pretty much it. You guys know I have other chargers much more powerful, so I'm going to test that and see if there's any difference. But for now, let me take that to the side and check out the tablet real quick before we move on to the keyboard accessory. And this is how the tablet looks. We have stereo speakers on the bottom, the pogo plugs for the keyboard, and the top we have volume rocker, 2 more speakers, 3.5mm headphone jack right here on the corner. Excellent to see. And this reminds me, and you guys probably gonna think the same thing, reminds me of the Lenovo P11 Non-Pro that I have, because it's exactly the same thing. We have matte plastic on the top, metal on the bottom. You know, here is VASKing branding. We have the camera and flashlight protruding quite significantly from the back, and on this side, we USB-C charging port. We have the SIM card slot right here. We have the power button. And on the other side, we don't have anything but the 3.5mm headphone jack. So volume rocker on top, power over here. Let's see if there's any power. The most exciting thing about this tablet is, obviously we have an Android 11, but on top of that, we have a 2K screen instead of regular 1080p screen. I'm excited about that. Definitely speaks more quality when you have a higher resolution screen. And while it's starting, let me quickly look at this keyboard. So the keyboard is docking station case kind of combination. We have a kickstand. That's where we clip the tablet, and we have the keyboard and kind of folds on top of it. But let's go ahead and open it and see if I can install it right away. Quick instruction again on top. Again, flipped upside down for some reason, but this is how you place it, all that. Very nice to see that they have a quick instruction and not something lengthy that nobody's gonna read. And again, very similar to my Lenovo P11, and I will bring it into the shot in a little bit so you can see it. You see metal hinges here on the kickstand. That's great to see, great accessory. I mean, I love companies when they have accessories like that. Let me take that to the side, and here is the tablet. Quite of a bright screen, fully laminated. I don't see any gaps. Excellent to see right here. Looks pretty sharp. I mean, with this screen resolution. I'm gonna go through the setting real quick. Looking for mobile network right away, so no SIM inside for the moment. I'm just gonna do the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna do a quick setup because all the setups are pretty much the same. I'm gonna be right back with the software with you guys so you can see how it looks. So the setup took less than 2 minutes actually, super fast, and you're presented with the screen. I'm not a huge fan of the wallpaper, but that can always be changed. So looking out through the apps on the tablet, it looks like everything is pretty stock. I don't see any bloatware or anything. We have obviously an FM radio, because if you plug in your headphones, you can use it as an antenna for the built-in radio on the chip. So everything else looks absolutely stock. And my biggest curiosity right away is to just go ahead and see if there's any updates or what's the story about the software. So if we go about the tablet and then enter system update, looking for updates. Let's see if currently we have no. Your device software is currently up to date. Okay, so nothing new here. So we have Android 11 on board, and if we click Android 11, let's see if we're gonna get the Android 11 logo. Yep, so this is Android 11. Nothing fake here. Security update is from April. Unfortunately, it's not brand new. So hopefully we're gonna see some updates here. And the Google Play system updates from August 1st. So yeah, fairly new. And one of the next things I'd like to do is go and turn on dark theme, because I don't like the bright light themes. I always turn the dark theme right away. Brightness level. Unfortunately, we don't have automatic brightness. I don't see. We have to adjust it manually. That's one of the negatives I can notice right away. Everything else seems pretty standard. Battery, display, scheduled power on and off. Storage, we have 11% used out of 128 gigabytes, so that's 13.84 gigabytes right there. And everything is system and apps, nothing unusual, nothing crazy here. Smart control, smart wake, pick up the device to wake it up, lift it, check the tablet, smart motion. So these are some of the features that are stock Android 11. What I'm interested in is to test some of the apps on it, see how the speed is. One thing we can very quickly check right away, 2 gigabytes currently used out of 4 gigabytes. That's a good thing to see. So far everything looks very snappy, and actually feels snappier than my Lenovo P11. And I brought up the Lenovo P11 to kind of compare the keyboards. The kickstand works a little bit different with the Lenovo P11, where the bottom part kicks in, where here we have the top part that kind of kicks out to become a tablet. But you will see the difference in the keyboards. The Lenovo P11 keyboard is smaller. Some of the keys are smaller. There's more space here. Actually, this is more convenient to type right there. The size of the touchpad here on the King pad is a little bit bigger as well. These buttons are bigger. So the feel is almost the same. Obviously, the biggest difference is the cover. We have this textured, kind of like fabric, higher quality, versus just a plain synthetic leather cover, but still great option to see. And with the Lenovo, the top part of the tablet kind of just clips by magnets. There's nothing holding it on the sides. Makes it a little bit more compact. You'll see much thinner, but overall the same concept. I mean, looks looks pretty much identical. Funny thing to notice is just the KingPad is a lot snappier. This Lenovo, I don't know, because of the way software is done or some of the things they added, seems a lot more sluggish, despite the fact that the processor is supposed to be better Snapdragon. But we hear, you know, things are moving a lot faster. Everything opens a lot faster. 4 gigabytes of RAM, 4 gigabytes of RAM here, not a big difference. But again, I'm gonna test some apps and show some results. The most curious thing for me is right away to see. Let me go to the DRM info and see what do we got here. If this tablet is supporting a Widevine level 1, because with the beautiful 2K screen, if it doesn't, that's a big negative, and of course it doesn't. We have a Widevine level 3 instead of level 1, so no Netflix, no Prime Video, none of the streaming services are gonna be showing something on Full HD here, or 2K for that matter, because this is the resolution of the screen, unfortunately. So you're kind of wasting that beautiful screen. But I guess, you know, just browsing, maybe that's going to be a better experience. I just wish that they spent a little bit money and got that certification, because it's definitely needed, especially here for the customers in the United States. Overall, I think the quality is pretty good. I mean, this is how the tablet looks with the keyboard accessory on it, and this is how the tablet, the Lenovo P11 looks. You will see there's quite noticeable difference in thickness and alignment. You'll see that this is a lot more compact. The biggest gap here, you can almost put your finger between the backside and the keyboard. Definitely some things to notice. Obviously, the quality is going to be a little bit less here, despite the fact that it has a lot more features technically. The tablet itself feels exactly the same with metal and everything. There's nothing different. Quite identical with the metal finish, with the rubberized plastic. Again, we have 4 speakers to make it you know, nice and stereo sound. Let me put that kickstand down again. And what's different here, when you drop down, you will see 4G SIM, 4G SIM 2, Bluetooth, we have nearby share, we have screencast, and that's about it. Getting closer to some of the icons, that higher resolution definitely pays off, because you cannot see the edges of the pixels at all, which I can notice on any 1080p tablet, especially when you get closer. This one is a lot better when it comes to that. When you pull out the SIM card, you will notice it's not only supporting 2 SIM cards, but also a micro SD card. So if you want to expand your storage from the 128 gigabytes included, you can pop in a micro SD card and expand it that way. By the way, this is metal, good to see, just for your information. And another thing is, it's a little bit weird. If I go to if I go to any of my videos and play it, hopefully the sound of the camera will pick it up and you'll see. So the sound is kind of low, even at almost maximum. But here at this point, like the last 2 clicks to go up, it will expand tremendously, and it's super loud, but it lacks a lot of the depth and the equalization. So let's see if the camera can pick it up. So let's see what's inside the box. Right on top we have the phone, with again outlines the specs. We have also on board. So the sound sounds a little bit tinny to me, despite the fact that we have 4 speakers. The one on the Lenovo P11 is definitely much louder and clearer. And like I mentioned, is super low. Like if you go to the middle of the line of the volume, you can barely hear it. Almost to the bottom, you cannot hear it all. So if you go all the way up, like 1 or 2 clicks before the end, you're starting to hear it. And then if you hit it max, it's kind of boosting up all the way to the maximum level. And again, for the 4 speakers, they don't sound as loud as they should be for 4 speakers and as clear. So hopefully they can address that with software in the future, because this is kind of a negative here. So that's pretty much with the unboxing of the KingPad M10 and the keyboard accessory. We're gonna run some tests, storage speed, network speed, and I'll show you some results. And of course, we're gonna talk about it more in a second in the final conclusion. All right, conclusion time with the KingPad M10. Now, there's a lot of things to talk about here, and throughout the video I covered many of the aspects of this tablet, but to abbreviate at the end, some of the things I really like and some of the things I dislike about this tablet. I believe in overall, as a package, as a price that it's coming up right now, that's a very good deal because you're getting the tablet and the keyboard with a cover under $270, which for the specs inside and the functionality, that's pretty good. But at the same time, there's some negatives that personally are affecting me or personally I'm not happy about. So if you are somebody like myself, it's worth definitely considering that. So major thing for me is no support for Widevine level 1. Now you have this beautiful IPS 2K screen and you cannot use it to stream your shows from Netflix, from HBO Max, for Amazon Prime on Full HD. That's kind of a waste. I mean, having this beautiful screen, what is it good for, right? Consume media. Just for browsing, I mean, it's fine, but it's not as good, right? So I wish that Vasking can go ahead and just pay a little bit more money and get those certifications. So if they're planning to sell their products on the US market, they definitely need to have that Widevine level 1 for all of us that want to consume media. The other things, storage is slower, but really doesn't affect you that much if you are just doing normal browsing and sending emails and stuff like that. Playing games, yeah, it's a little bit slower that way. But again, it's not that big of a deal. PUBG can be played on HD graphics with the maximum FPS you can get. It's playable, it's not unplayable, but at the same time, that SoC, the Tiger T618, it's not fast. It's not fast at all. Like I said, on par with Helio P23, which is pretty old processor. And this is kind of bringing down the experience a lot for me. If that tablet had a lot faster processor, which brand doesn't matter. Maybe some of the newer MediaTek processors that would have been so much better for gaming. The rest of it, functionality around the tablet is great. The build quality is great, really on par with the Lenovo P11 I have. 4 speakers, they're good, but you guys see in the video, there's some things happening with the sound. It's not very loud. Hope that in the future with software updates, they can address those issues. But you know, this is at the moment. 3.5mm headphone jack, great thing to see. Dual SIM, great thing to see. Expandability with SD card, again, great thing to see. Cameras on the back and front, 13 megapixel and 8 megapixel, yeah, they're fine. I mean, what I'm gonna be using them, Skype, Zoom, stuff like that. I'm not really gonna be going around snapping pictures, but you know, they're there. Keyboard is good, definitely not as good as the one on the P11, but at the same time, very functional, large keys, easy to type on. So it really provides some good functionality there. And I'm pretty happy with that. 6,000 milliamp battery built in, I think does the job pretty good. Almost no power drainage during standby, and I've seen less than 5% overnight. When you play games and do stuff like that and you browse and more intensive tasks, you can look at about 6, 7, 8 hours of battery life, which is not bad at all considering the resolution of the screen, which is 2000 by 1200. Definitely this is the best resolution screen I have on an Android tablet. Currently none of the other ones I have this kind of high resolution, and you can see the difference. I mean, especially if you're closer, you will see that this one is much crispier. You can see the pixels. You can definitely see that it's much crisper image than what the other tablets I have are offering. So yeah, I mean, this is available straight from Vasking's website. I'm gonna leave links on the description of the video. Also, they have some representation over at Amazon as well, so you can grab it from there if you want to. But if you're looking for a good mid-range tablet with good accessory, to just serve you for everyday use, or maybe give it to your kids to learn typing and do some schoolwork, maybe some browsing, some emails, stuff like that. Naturally, you can watch YouTube and stuff like that. But again, Widevine level 1, it's not present, so you're not going to be really getting the highest possible quality on those streaming services. You're going to be stuck on just standard definition. On YouTube, you get 1080p, and that's about it. Even 4K videos are going to be scaled down to 1080p. Would I recommend it if I'm spending my own money? Definitely compared to the price and the functionality I paid for the Lenovo P11. I have to say this one, software-wise at least, is snappier, and obviously the software is better. We have Android 11 versus the Android 10 still on the Lenovo for some reason. I mean, giant corporations like Lenovo cannot push the latest update. I'm really baffled about this, but whatever. Hopefully we're gonna get that update soon. So software-wise here is much better. Screen-wise is much better. Some things are much more refined with the P11, and at the moment the P11 is a lot more expensive, at least $50. So definitely this is a good option for that mid-range, around $250 with the accessory that you can take on the road. And instead of hauling a big, heavy laptop, you can just use this tablet. Hopefully in the future they can address with software updates some of the sound issues and maybe introduce Widevine Level 1. That would be amazing. That's going to be a clear winner and absolute recommendation for me if that happens in the future. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to support this channel, check out the link in the description below. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel for more videos like this coming very, very soon. I have a couple very intriguing videos coming up with a brand new laptop as well. One of those laptops that you haven't seen pretty much anywhere else reviewed. And yeah, till next time, guys, you have a wonderful day.